How long did it take you to learn English? This is a question I get asked a lot. And honestly, there's no simple answer. I'd love to give you a clear time frame, but it feels impossible to pin down. So, let me try to explain, but with the understanding that everyone's journey is different. What worked for me might not work for you. So, why did I decide to learn English in the first place? It all started when I was a little kid. I saw people speaking English and I thought it was so cool. For me, learning English wasn't an obligation, it was a desire. And let me tell you, that's a powerful motivator. But that wasn't the only reason. When I was in high school, I had to move to a new school. And my English teacher, well, let's say he made me feel uncomfortable. One day, I was walking around the school with some of my friends, enjoying an ice cream, when we crossed paths with this teacher. And he said, "I wish I were that ice cream. Can I have some?" Yikes. Ugh. My response, you guessed it. Go get yourself one. Ouch. He didn't like that. So he made English test even tougher. But you know what? That made me study harder. I wasn't going to let anyone put me down for not knowing English. So by the time I graduated high school, I had some basic understanding of English. But I didn't stop there. I kept learning on my own. I made it a habit to learn new words every day. And when I say study, I don't just mean reading. I wrote down new words and reviewed them every week. Back then, we didn't have smartphones or easy access to online resources. So I had to do it the old-fashioned way, with a good old dictionary. I stuck with this method for about 2 years, I'll say, and eventually I got to a point where I could speak some English. Yay! Here's the thing. I got a job where I was the only one who spoke English. I started talking to foreign clients, and suddenly I had a new reason to improve my English. Opportunities! And well, money too. Even though it wasn't the best, but hey, that was something. Instead of money, I found a husband. I really encouraged him to move to Colombia with me, but he wasn't so sure about that. Maybe it was because he didn't speak Spanish? Maybe. Eventually, I moved to the United States of America, and that's when things got interesting. At first, I was really shy about speaking English with anyone except my husband. I was terrified people would laugh at my mistakes. So every time we went to the store, I'd ask my husband to speak for me. Could you ask how much these cost? Or could you thank them for me? After about 2 months, he got fed up and said, "I'm not doing this forever. You speak English, so go ask them yourself." And there I was, terrified of messing up, but I had no choice. So the first time I spoke to someone, I probably said something like, "How are you?" But guess what? The person didn't even blink. She just smiled and responded. That was the moment I needed to get confidence to speak English. But wait, learning English didn't stop there. I decided to go to nursing school. Oh gosh, what was I thinking? And let me tell you, that was like learning a whole new language. I had to memorize terms like esophagogastroduodenoscopy. Yeah, those kind of words. I barely knew basic English, and now I had to learn a whole medical vocabulary. Plus, we had tons of reading, sometimes 100 pages a week, and I had to make it look like I understood everything. Rough times, tears, but I passed. I graduated and became a nurse, and that's what I do now on a daily basis. But, just when I thought I was done with English, guess what happened? My son started school. Suddenly, he was correcting my English. Oh no! He was learning something called phonetics. Have you ever heard of it? Because I had no idea what that was. Mom, what's the sound of this letter? He'll ask. Me? Completely clueless. No idea. But luckily, I had a computer. So I started learning about the International Phonetic Alphabet. I don't know everything about it, but it blew my mind. Suddenly, I understood why live and leave sound different. But I'm still learning about it. It's so complicated. But who taught me all of this? My kid. Kids don't have filters and they just tell you things as they are. That's why I love them. I'm really proud of my son though. He's great at phonetics and he even helps with our videos. You have noticed him, right? He's the best. So, when people ask me how long it took to learn English, the truth is it's a bit complicated. It depends on your goals. If you just want to speak and get by, maybe it'll take you a couple of years, depending on how much time you put into it. But for me, I'm still learning. But after I graduated from high school, I'll say it took me about 2 years to really be able to speak and understand English, where I could defend myself and have conversations and understand what was being said and be able to respond and all of that. 2 years, I'll say. And that was because I was putting a lot of time, hours into that. But hey, learning is a lifetime process. I'm also learning French. Why? Because why not? Así que ahí te lo dejo. Si de verdad quieres aprender inglés, yo creo que realísticamente hablando te lleva unos 2 años aprender el idioma, como para hablarlo y entenderlo. Ahora, si tú de pronto estás viviendo en Estados Unidos y tienes contacto con estadounidenses que solamente hablan el inglés, muy seguramente tu proceso de aprendizaje va a ser un poco más rápido porque vas a estar obligado a escuchar el idioma y a tener que entenderlo. Pero si estás en un país donde se habla español únicamente o donde se habla tu idioma, pues muy seguramente ahí sí se te va a demorar un poquitito más el tema del aprendizaje, dependiendo otra vez de cuánto tiempo le estés dedicando tú a ver programas de televisión que solamente estén en inglés, a ver podcast o a escuchar y aprender cómo es que funciona el inglés y sus reglas y todas esas cosas. Pero lo más importante es entrenar el oído. Una vez que tú ya escuches lo que te están diciendo, ya va a ser muchísimo más fácil volver y repetir lo que uno está escuchando. Ahora, déjame saber en los comentarios cuántos años llevas estudiando tú el inglés y en qué nivel te encuentras. Bueno, y para que lleguemos a más gente, ayúdanos con un me gusta y ayúdanos a compartir. Y suscríbete al canal, dale click a la campanita para que te lleguen las notificaciones de cada vez que saquemos un video.